Welcome to Design Diary, the podcast where you get to look inside my board game design notebook as well as what's going on inside my head. We look at a new word each day from the sense of mechanics, tone, theme, or inspiration for a full game. Today's word is
balmy, having the qualities of balm, soothing, mild, temperate, and crazy or foolish. Which I don't know how they go into this complete opposite of the rest of the definition, but they're there.
I don't understand that part either.
I worked it into one of my things, so.
All right, well, I want to hear it then.
Okay, so my notes for this are just 3 questions, and none of them are actually questions. I don't know why I labeled them as questions, but I did. And they don't go much further into just the statement, which is not a question. So the first one is something that is not medical but is helpful. So like a lot of like items that you put on your skin or your face or anything, they're not necessarily like help you medically, but they help you just feel better. So I was trying to think of the distinction of that in a game where you can get medicine for something, or you can get this maybe less expensive, or you don't have to jump through hoops to get it, these non-medicines that make you feel better but don't actually make you any better. So that was like a weird distinction that I was looking at.
Interesting. I mean, that's the choice that a lot of games put in, like Lotus, where if you finish a flower, you can choose a bonus, and you can choose points, which in the nature of the game will get you closer to winning.
Yes.
Or you can choose a power, which
will help you win
your
better.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's always an interesting choice that you have to make is, do you want to win, or do you want to win in a different way?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's like, do you want the straight points, or do you want the stuff that'll make the rest of the game easier? I guess that's kind of like, you want a guarantee at the end, or do you want potential? Maybe that's what it is.
Exactly.
Because I always go for the potential. Like,
Oh yeah, that's definitely the more fun route.
yeah.
Instead of just like, 5 points. So it's like, no, I can do something that you can't.
So my second one is where I brought in the foolish, which was, and I wish I had the line up, but the line from Napoleon Dynamite where they're looking for chapstick or lip balm or whatever. And he says, just check the nurse's drawer. She should have a couple of them in there. And what I thought was just something that should not be shared. Like, of all things, that should not be shared. When it's shared, worse things are going to happen than whatever you gain from it. And that has very little to do with the topic, but just thinking of something that absolutely should not be shared in a game where it's able to be shared. And I don't know what to take from that, but that was just the question number 2 that I wrote that's not actually a question.
Interesting. Well, can I share what I got?
Yeah, and I'll go to my big third one that's also not a question.
Okay, so with balmy, I mean, it's talking about like, soothing or smooth or just really calming. And that's kind of what I wanted Bob Ross, The Art of Chill to be.
And it's not?
But have you played it?
I have not. And
it is not.
Oh, I'm so sad to hear that.
You are race. I mean, I like it. I like it still, but I don't think its subtitle, The Art of Chill, really fits in, because it's a race. You're racing against other people to be more chill. And so it's kind of this weird, like, you're yelling at people for taking the cars that you want, or
really,
it's an interesting game. I think it's very cool. But
I almost want that to like not have a winner and end when you want it to.
Yeah. It is, so you win when you become the most chill. But in the rules, it does say, like, you're playing a Bob Ross game, so doesn't everybody win? So it knows that it's not entirely chill. But I was thinking about what games are chill and what makes them chill. So you don't directly want to act against another player. You don't want to target. You don't want to steal. You don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. And so you're turning inward. And so I was thinking more of a kind of self-care. You're working on your own stuff. I don't like the term multiplayer solitaire.
Oh, I don't either.
But you are working on things that other people cannot touch.
Okay.
It is uninfluenced by anyone else. And so I wanted it to be just really satisfying. Like, what are satisfying things to do? And I started with what is not satisfying, or what could not be like smooth or soothing. Like, rolling a die is not smooth or soothing.
No, when it's very bumpy.
Or you're waiting for it to go on a certain thing and it just tips over. Shuffling cards is not soothing or smooth. No. Some people are very good at it. Some people are very bad. And so the things that I got are sliding.
Yes.
I really like sliding things, but not in a dexterity way, like levels or just shifting things like as you go. Kind of like a Zen garden where you're just like pushing things into like their perfect state. And so what I wanted it to feel like, is like a resolution of a pattern. Like you make a move, and I want players to say, like after they finish that. And so I don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
Like Azul is very, very satisfying, but it's also I'm yelling at a lot of people for what they do and the tiles that they take. So I want the satisfying building of those tiles, but without people stealing my tiles. So I would love to just have a game that just goes down smooth.
You know what it made me think of was... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, what it made me think of was two different components that sort of had that push and slide thing to me. And they're both time-based, but I'm not thinking of a time side. Is a spinner, where if I spin it, then while it's spinning, it's kind of like this soothing sound and things like that.
Interesting.
I don't know what that means, but the other one I thought was like a sand timer. And when I flip the sand timer, it's like my time. And I can do whatever I want on my time. Like, I can just chill. I can stop the game. I can pause. I can get my stuff in order. But when I get to flip that sand timer, it's my time. It's so bizarre.
I love that. That's pretty great.
But when you were saying that, it made me think of Club Zen by T.C. Petty. Have you ever heard of Club Zen?
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Just like a chill, because I mean, that's a worker placement game, but I don't think it had mean elements in it, right?
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't. All his stuff is, positive player interaction and things like that. I'm reading the description right now. It's a relaxing worker placement game where the goal is to plan out your 7-day working vacation in the most zen way as possible, manage your work and emotional stress, make new friends, attend exciting events such as hang gliding or rock climbing, collect stones for your personal zen garden, or take a nap. How will you spend your time at the 5-star resort Club Zen? The most relaxed or zen player at the end of 1 week's stay will be the winner. That's neat.
Yeah, and so
it says it encourages people to go to the same locations together many times for an increased benefit.
There you go.
Cooperation and meaningful positive interaction while still only having one winner. That's cool.
Yeah. Positive interaction is a good phrase to get out of that.
That's neat. So my third idea is really simple. My third question.
Let's hear it.
Is something soothing that you would like actually use like on your body, any kind of like balm or any kind of ointment or anything, is usually spread on. So I was thinking of the spreading of cards to cover a player tableau. And when you have cards, I thought of it almost as like a culling mechanism in like maybe like a deck building game or something like that, where you play them on top of your player tableau. And the parts that you cover are the parts that are sort of like recharged by the time that that's done. So I could spread them all over my player tableau, and I have nothing to work with for the time being. But I, refresh some of my things. I zap those cards out of my deck, and I'm recharged, and I have less clutter in my life, and something along those lines.
All right.
That's my third non-question.
Non-question.
Yeah, and I started out just saying, like, what is something that is medical but not, medical, or, but it turned into just these three things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's
so
it.
Smooth. So
it is.
balmy.
We need to take it down an octave. That wasn't an octave. But, and just
take it down a notch.
Down a notch. Nice
just
and
slow
smooth.
down. Just relax.
I can't do that.
That doesn't sound like you.
I have never. I sat down and played a game of Fortnite for 10 minutes today, and it was the most relaxation I've gotten in a long time. Actually, I went to the pool. I went to the town pool for 2 days in a row.
There you go. Relaxing.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's an episode.
Wonderful.
We will do this again next week.
Sounds great. Talk to you then.
See ya.